1 year ago, I committed to doing a 20,000 steps a day challenge in March of 2020. So I did 20,000 steps every day for 1 month. And this March of 2021, I'm doing the same thing. This year, I'm actually doing 21,000 steps a day, every day this month in March, in honor of 2021. I just thought it'd be fun to add that extra 1,000 steps. So in this video, I wanna go over really fast what it is, what the rules are for my challenge, what I learned from last year, what were like the bad things that I did that I want to fix this time around, and then how I'm planning to do it in case you're interested in doing it, and just to like document this whole process. So first of all, let me tell you the rules. The rules are you got to get in 21,000 steps every day, and it has to be throughout the day. It really shouldn't be in big spurts. So there's no like first thing in the morning or like a big run at the end of the evening. It's supposed to be throughout the day. So on my Fitbit, it has like the up to 9 hours of activity. I really want to hit that 9 hours. And I should say too, the purpose of the challenge last year wasn't necessarily walking for weight loss or anything crazy like that. It was simply to be more active throughout the day with my kids, like not be sitting on my butt editing or doing any kind of work or research or spending too much time inside doing homeschooling. I really wanted to be, if we were done with school, to be out and about. Now, rule number 2 is on the off chance that I'm not able to hit those 21,000 steps in a day, those steps roll over to the next day. I did this twice last year and it was kind of a bummer having to make it up the next day. It stopped me or prevented me from wanting to do that. The 2 times that I did it, the first time was because of a work thing. I underestimated how much I actually walked in my job. And then the second one was that I wasn't feeling well. So this year I wanted to give myself the same grace period, because I know myself, especially if you've watched my daily YouTube challenge in December, that if I miss a day, it's like, ugh, you just like fall off the wagon. So I like the idea where it's, if not all of the X's are crossed, you can still continue going on because you've built that into the game. And then the third rule is that it can only be walking. So no running, no jogging, and no like high impact activity. Last year I did like dance and stuff, but I wouldn't consider that necessarily high impact activity. It's supposed to be like activity, so I go on these long walks outside, but I'm trying to stay active throughout the day, like I said, and so that's doing house projects, going outside with the kids, so it's not necessarily like pure working out. Now let me tell you what went wrong with last year. The first one was that I'd save my steps until the end of the day, and so right now it's about 6:20, 6:30, and I've almost hit 15,000 steps, so I have 6,000 more steps to go, and it's gonna be a real bummer because we have things we're doing tonight too, and so I will need to do 6,000 steps. It'll take me about an hour to do, like if I'm actually concentrated doing the 6,000 steps, because I do 1,000 steps in 10 minutes-ish. So anyway, I want to get those done, the bulk of my steps done in the morning, early morning before the kids are awake. I'd like to do all of that stuff then and just kind of go about my day. The second thing is that because it was the start of the pandemic and things were shutting down quickly here in Washington State, I did the majority of my steps by myself outside, or I did them indoors, and I don't want to do that again. So far I'm on day 3 of my challenge, but I did a few extra days just to make sure that I could get back into the swing of it before I actually started it. And a lot of those have been inside, which is kind of a bummer because I'm catching up at the end of the day because I still don't have my pace down or like my flow. So anyway, that is something that I have to fix. And I do feel more comfortable going out and about and walking than I did last year too, because towards the end of March, we didn't really know what this thing was. Like going outside, I did feel like people were looking at me through their windows being like, why is she outside so much? I don't feel that way anymore. And then finally, my third thing that I want to do differently is pay attention to what I eat. Last year I didn't. I ate a lot of food, and it was also because it was a stressful time. I don't know if it was like bad food or what it was. I just remember eating a lot all the time and being like, oh, I can because I burned this amount of calories, which, you know, I definitely don't want to be a huge calorie deficit. It just felt like I spent a lot of time eating. Let me tell you about the 3 things that how to plan or how to walk, especially if you're walking inside or walking at home. These are the 3 things that I'm doing to make sure that I'm successful in this challenge this month. The first one is that I'm using activity cards, so like my planner cards. Sorry, I'm making dinner. So like the activity cards that I do for my house and other items in my life, I have activity cards for walking and things to do. If I don't get to it, I put it on, first of all, I put it on the week that is based off of like the day of the rhythm of the day, and also my kids' schedules, and if I don't get to it, it just goes to the next week. Last year I did some stuff with my planner where I listed out activities that I wanted to get to. Unfortunately, we didn't get to any of them because they all shut down. I have a Trello like board that I rule my life with or run my life with, and on there I have photos too of things that inspire me to get walking. And then finally, the last thing that I'm planning, or I have done already, I did last March, which kind of helped me for this one, was that I have playlists set up already that are 170 beats per minute, and I also have my little video I made here that I'll add in the link that help you for that like bursts. I'm trying to do Pomodoro type things to stay active throughout the day. So if I am sitting down with the kids doing school, I get up every 25 minutes and walk for 5 minutes in place or around the house or do something around the house. So that's little things like that, making sure that playlists are set up for music that you like, making sure that podcasts are downloaded that you want to listen to, and then also I have YouTube Premium, so I download any videos so I'm not like sitting on my phone watching it, I'm walking and listening to it. So those are the three things that I'm planning, and like I said, I'm in day 3 and it's going good.
You keep playing where you shouldn't be playing, and you keep thinking that you'll never get burned.